I'm just sitting in my chair.
I'm just on the bridge
orcs.
relaxing, cleaning my gun.
There's not a lot that orcs can do, but orcs.
Perfect. All right. So on the now sixth day, as you continue through the warp, you guys all feel a pretty intense pressure on your heads as the warning klaxons begin to sound again, and you are informed that your Geller field has had a fluctuation in it and appears to be potentially malfunctioning. It probably hasn't been used for a very, very long time.
Which, by the way, our thing does travel in half the time.
Yeah.
Yes,
that is
I
a
know.
feature of it. Right.
Yep, and it's warp travel encounters every 3 days instead of 5, and it travels in half the time. However, he couldn't find the Astronomicon the first time, so he had to basically double or even triple your time to get there.
So, the Geller field's malfunctioning, huh?
It is beginning to. If the Geller field actually fully malfunctions, then the warp enters your ship and you all die a horrible, horrible death.
I'm going to be spending that day's resources of just my character shoring up the Geller field as much as possible.
All right, make me a tech use check.
Please, God, don't fail this.
He saved his fate points. He can still roll it if he gets wrong.
Oh,
yeah, I'm sure he's fine.
Sorry, hang on. I thought that was going to take you longer.
That's all good.
What are you doing?
I was smoking. Okay,
so
yeah, that's what I do, man.
Use a pothead? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, man.
It gives him the GM powers.
All right, so Delta, with your 8.6 degrees of success, you've actually managed to shore up the Geller field so much, and with the right rituals, that, and you'll have to remind me of this, the next time I roll Geller field fluctuations, it is ignored.
Beautiful.
Huh.
Right.
We're so in real space, in not real space, that not real space can't exist in this real space.
That's right. Orky says, what?
Safe space. This is my safe space.
All right, so the navigator who has determined that he is the Navis Nobilit, he is the prime navigator for sure, is able to make his route toward Lucen's Breath, where you wanted to go. He has finished. Let's see. Navigator rolls oh. Okay, but it's only if he fails. Okay, sorry. He didn't fail, but if he had failed to roll a 9, man, that would have been special. So we do not spend another 3 days in the warp, so now we are simply leaving the warp, which is not super easy. Oh no.
Don't say that, oh no.
No, God.
Okay, so right as you go to leave the warp, the navigator is distracted by a bit of blood that drops from the ceiling after all this time from his previous prime navigator. And as he pops you out into real space, you notice that you're not on the edge of the solar system like you're supposed to be. It seems to be a common thing with this ship. It likes to pop itself up right near planets. It does so once again. You are right near Lucen's Breath, and the planetary defense system has locked onto your ship immediately as they believe that they are under attack. So I'm assuming you want to hail them.
Yes, I want to hail them immediately.
And not have the ship fall onto the planet's surface.
That too, yes.
Right. So you're not that close. But you are close enough that you're far enough away that you're able to pretty easily get into orbit just fine. You're not really sucked into the gravity well per se, but you are close enough that the defense guns are freaking out on you because you're right there. So you hail and you say,
"Oh, I hail and I say, this is Lord Captain Leander of the Lion's Prophet. You would be wise not to be aiming at our ship. It was only a malfunction of our navigator that we ended up so close to the planet anyways. If you could please lower your arms. We mean you no harm."
Okay. A man appears.
What? What?
You should probably tell them you're a traitor of some kind.
I mean, I just said I'm Lord Captain. I don't think every captain of a ship is called Lord Captain. It's kind of fucking implied.
Okay. So a man appears on the vid screen in front of you, and he's sort of a pudgy old man with glasses on, and he sort of looks out, down toward the screen. He say, "Did you say the Lion's Prophet?"
Shit. That was a bad idea. Okay, yeah, sure. That's what I said. Fuck. No, you misheard. No, yeah.
Roll deceive.
Roll to see. Oh shit. No, I'm gonna let it. I'm gonna let it play
You're gonna
out.
let it go. Okay. And you said your name is. You said your name is what?
Lord Captain Leander.
Lord Captain. Would you be George Leander?
No, I would be his son, John Leander.
His son. Well, stay up there in orbit for just a bit. We'll get back to you in just a minute, Lion's Prophet.
I motion for us to be moved just out of range of their their batteries, just in
Okay.
case. Just enough to be in range of communications, but not so close that we can be hit.
How many shuttles do we have? We have about 3, right?
We have more than
Roughly.
Okay. So I load up a shuttle just in case shit hits the storm.
You mean the fan?
In this case, it would be the storm. Anyway.
Oh.
So I load it
How
with,
many things does your holding bay?
provisions. I load it with a little bit of provisions and some ammo, and my men are ready to get onto it and go down to the planet if necessary.
All right. All right. So after an agonizingly long hour of waiting and moving your ship around, trying to get outside the gun's range,
It's
your
irritating.
right, your video screen pops back up, and that same man is there. Although now he has behind him what looks to be an Imperial officer and let's see, just a regular Imperial officer, probably a planetary governor of some sort, wearing similar insignias to what your father had worn. And next to him is um, a strange-looking slender man with a hood on, and just you can't really see his face though.
Is it a red hood?
No, I don't think so. All right, so as you're sitting there, the man with the glasses looks over and he says, Lord Captain Leander, are you there again?
I am.
All right. You have been given clearance to land, or to bring shuttles down to the surface if you'd like to. What is your business here?
I don't know, guys. What is our business here?
Trade.
We
Hey,
wish
Rakar.
to trade and transport.
Yes, we wish to trade and transport. I was going to ask Rakad if he had an idea of what we could do.
Yeah, but
He
bringing
doesn't
him into the
need
room right now, where there's an
No.
Imperial officer and a planetary governor looking straight
that.
at you, be bad.
I'm a rogue trader. I can have anybody I want on my crew.
They're not sanctioned yet.
He's sanctioned
Oh, okay.
for my ship.
It's not entirely how it works.
I
You're
know.
right, though. You are not above these guys in authority. Or you are above these guys in authority. Well, maybe not the planetary governor.
I'm not swinging it around or anything. So
Right.
it's just Rakad's obviously not here. That's why we put him in the deepest parts of the ship.
Exactly.
So we want it for trading and transport or whatever. And yes,
All right, so the governor, so you just talked to them and said you wanted to do trade, basically, is what you've responded with.
yes.
The planetary governor speaks up and says, I think we should have a nice sit-down meeting first and maybe determine what the best course of action is as far as trade goes with our planet.
That sounds quite nice.
Indeed. Please bring any of your attaché you need. We will have dinner in exactly 2 hours at my palace.
I look
Very
over
good,
to
Jim.
John as I'm back on the bridge. I'm like, you want me to come with you?
Hmm.
I have a nice
Yes.
trench coat. I can
Yeah,
wear over the
I'll
armor.
take Kruger and his men.
My men will stay at the shuttle,
Alright.
and one of the 4 men will stay at the shuttle. 1 will accompany me, and we will basically, when he sits down to eat, we'll be left and right of him, standing at attention.
That's good. Yeah,
Awesome.
that
Okay,
makes sense.
so when you go down to the dinner, it's just going to be you, Kruger, and his men.
Just one man. from
Or
his,
one of my
his
men.
men. The rest are at the ship.
Right.
Yep, the
Would you
rest
like
are
me
there.
to accompany you, Captain? Or could I recommend to at least send Macbooth with you?
Yes, I would like McBooth to come in. He could pass butter during the meal.
Yeah.
All right. So
Passing,
the
but
servo.
90% chance to pass butter.
Oh my
Right.
god.
So the servo skull heads off along with you, Kruger, and all of his men to the shuttle and make it down to the planet in pretty decent time for dinner in 2 hours exact. You go to the governor's palace, which is pretty amazing, certainly larger than the home you lived in, for sure. This place is very likely to be a lot more profitable than your penal colony was.
Hmm.
So as you go into the unnecessarily lavishly decorated mansion with the inordinate number of bodyguards all just scattered about this place, you get to the extremely large dining area with the table that looks like it could probably seat 200 as he's seated at one end, and you have servitors coming out and basically putting food on all places in the table with his assumption that you would be there with a decent number of men. You, McBoof, Kruger, and another man, one of his men obviously, come into the room, the very, very large room.
We open the doors for John.
All right,
course.
perfect. Perfect. The governor looks over at you and just sort of whimsically smiles as about a dozen people in similar noble, imperial noble sort of clothing are sitting there and begin to eat. And they also look over at you and snicker a little bit.
I'm
The
sorry. I'm
governor-
sorry. They do what?
Oh, well, there must have been a rather bubbly wine.
I would hope so. I would hope so. Indeed. Indeed. Very, very much so. Bubbly wine.
The governor,
Me and my other man are both staying there directly at attention, like military attention, Imperial Guard style.
Are
perfect.
they armed, by the way, or did they basically remove their arms whenever they came? I
You
assume
can
I
roll
still have
me.
my sword.
You
Because
still have your sword. As for the bolters, roll me a deceive check. That would be
that would be tough.
from Kruger.
Well, I am
Even
wearing
tougher
I am
still.
wearing a trench coat, so can I get like a +10?
Yeah, it's gonna be +10.
For concealment.
Yeah.
Come on, Whammy. Whammy. Oh, Whammy!
Nice. You've kept your bolter, however your man has not kept his.
And I have also my chainsword, so.
Right. So you're good. So the governor raises his hand and waves at you and says, "Oh, please take a seat, John. My name is Governor Daxis, and I have a proposition for you."
I take a bit of a noble bow and then take my seat.
Perfect.
A proposition, you say? Please share it
Yes.
with me.
This planet is ruled over by a duo of rogue traders who are not here most of the time, and so by proxy, I manage this planet. And it is my job, as you would understand, to ensure that efficiency of profit is as high as possible. And as of late, we have unfortunately come into a circumstance wherein we are down a good 5% profit, which is utterly unacceptable. And were I to actually report this to my boss, my commander, he would very likely have my head for this, as this would mean one night a year that he is not able to have the fanciest of possible wines. And that is, again, obviously, utterly unacceptable. If you would be willing to take some of what we mine here, which is a gas called nephium, and find a way to sell it at a higher profit somewhere else,
Hmm.
I would be more than grateful and be willing to let you keep everything above and beyond the required amount to bring me to the 5%, the extra 5% effectiveness that I have lost. Would that be acceptable? You'll have to let me know what amount of cargo your ship can hold so that I can prepare the amount of nephium required. But when you do go out there, I can tell you the place that we normally sell. And if you were to go there and try to convince them to pay a higher fee, I'm sure you can make up the 5% and more with your skills.